Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Duke Ellington. So I wanted to do a little bit of review before I jumped into anything new. So let's do that really quick. So he was born April 29th, 1899, super long time ago. He started piano lessons at 7 years old. His mom made sure that he was around dignified women, dressing nicely, had manners, and got the nickname Duke because of his friends once they saw how he was dressed and acts and talks, very dignified. He wrote over 1,000 compositions. He led a big band orchestra and had a 50-year band leader career leading orchestras. His jazz style and big band style actually elevated jazz to a more traditional musical genre than what it used to be, which is pretty awesome. So let's do a little bit more new information about him this time. So, in September 1965, he premiered the first of his sacred concerts. He created a jazz Christian set of music, and although this particular set of work received mixed reviews, Duke Ellington was proud of the compositions and performed it dozens of times. This concert was followed by two others of the same type in 1968 and 73, and they were known as the second and third sacred concerts. Pretty self-explanatory. Like Haydn and Mozart, Duke Ellington conducted his orchestra from the piano. He always played the keyboard parts when the sacred concerts were performed. He turned 65 in the spring of 1964, but had no intention and showed no signs of slowing down as he continued to make vital and innovative recordings, including the Far East Suite in 1966, New Orleans Suite in 1970, Latin American Suite in 1972, and the Afro-Eurasian Eclipse in 1971. Much of it was inspired by his world tours. It was during this time that he recorded his only album with Frank Sinatra, entitled Francis A. and Edward K. in 1967. I don't know how many of you know who Frank Sinatra is, but he's pretty awesome too. So if you don't know who he is and you want to check him out, feel free to Google him and check him out. He's got some pretty good music. Your parents will probably know who he is. All right, so the last three shows Duke Ellington and his orchestra performed were one on March 21st, 1973 at Purdue University's Hall of Music, and two on March 22nd in 1973 at the Sturgis Young Auditorium in Sturgis, Michigan. Ellington performed what was considered his final full concert in a ballroom at Northern Illinois University on March 20th, 1974. So today we're going to listen to a song called Take the A Train. A little bit about it. Take the A Train was composed in 1939 after Duke Ellington offered a guy named Billy Strayhorn a job and gave him money to travel from Pittsburgh to New York City. He wrote directions for Strayhorn to get to his house by the subway, directions that began, "Take the A Train." The title refers to the then new A subway service that ran through New York City. So let's take a listen.
our big requests, Satin Doll.
Okay, thanks for listening. So a couple things about that video. We had lots of instruments in there, but did you notice that one thing that was in that trumpet before we just heard that most recent solo? Does anybody remember what that's called? If you said mute, you're totally right. So there was something inside that trumpet right in there, and that was called a mute, and that was for the trumpet. And that one was made of metal. Some of the other mutes that we've seen that go over the horns that we've talked about before have plungers, which are lots of fun. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.